Do not take the next arm ticket. Here's why. So guys, a few years ago, scientists were making or looking to make bird flu more contagious, more spreadable, as they put it. Now, it's airborne. And people will say that, well, it's mutating, it's doing this, it's doing that. Bird flu's been around for a little bit, not too long, but for a little bit. And now, in the last 2 years, especially with the elites' plan to depopulate the planet, in the last 2 years, bird flu is making leaps and bounds in mutations. It's mutating from bird into cow, which are two different species, cow milk into cats, again, two different species, and then one human worker caught it here in the United States through way of conjunctivitis. One girl in Cambodia last year passed away from it, and then there's a kid now in Australia who was in India at the time, flew to Australia, and now has bird flu. But for the kid in Australia and the guy in Texas, they're both mild. The girl in Cambodia, obviously that wasn't a mild case. Being that they made it, scientists were tinkering with it and modifying it. They have arm tickets now, two, that are available to go into production immediately should an outbreak happen. I find it interesting, guys, that they tinker with this virus 2 years ago to make it more contagious. Now, we're seeing it pick up, at least in animals. For Christ's sakes, it ended up in Antarctica, where a virus like that shouldn't thrive and shouldn't be able to spread. Nonetheless, they're seeing it down there as well, and penguins and a few other animals are dying left and right. The issue with the arm ticket is that they state that they're doing old school, right? So they're not using mRNA, they're using the old school tactics to develop this arm ticket. But if they genetically modify the virus, that means the arm ticket is going to be genetically modified as well. That being said, do not take it when they release it, because they undoubtedly will. Now, they are going to start scare tactics, and they're starting to build it up now, so that people start thinking, well, if this gets out of hand, we're gonna have to take the arm ticket so that we could protect ourselves. No. There are a million other ways you can protect yourselves. There are a lot of things you can do to protect yourself, like start eating healthy right now, start exercising right now, so that if you do get sick, you'll be able to fight it off. And for a lot of us, I think the bird flu is going to be like the flu. Now, interestingly enough, the FDA, about 2 weeks ago now, states that the next pandemic is going to have a 1 in 4 kill rate. And that's the bird flu. They think the bird flu is going to kill 1 in 4 Americans. The FDA is stating this because that's part of their campaign protocol, if you will, to start scaring the public, because the FDA is going to be the one to pass the next arm ticket. They're going to be able to sign that into legalities, or to make it legal, to make it that humans can take it. And meanwhile, the FDA will look at vitamins. They don't back vitamins. They don't support vitamins. They don't support any natural, holistic ways to better yourself. The FDA is out on that. But anything chemical, they're all over. Now, they are worried about the H5N1 spreading person to person. So clearly, guys, for it to spread to animals, from animal to human, that's alarming in itself, right? Bird to human or cow to human, that's alarming in itself. But once it starts going person to person, that means it has to be modified again for it to do so. And they keep warning us, and there's more warnings about this becoming an issue. The fact that, it's going to start going from person to person, and that's what we're worried about. Well, how does something make that fast of a jump? Normally it takes a little while. It takes years for it to do it, and it's gone almost into every species on this planet, which doesn't make sense. Again, I'm not a virologist, so maybe I'm missing something, but the simple fact, guys, that we have an election coming up, and this thing's on the move. It's starting to spread, and they're concerned about it spreading, and then they're worried about it from human to human. And they don't even, here's the kicker, they don't even know which variant it is. And even bird flu, obviously, guys, like any disease, has different variants. They don't know the variants, but they have 2 arm tickets available, ready to rock and roll. So they go on, guys, to say that the FDA says that it can kill 1 in 4. All right. But then, if you read further in different articles, it has a 50% mortality rate. Which is it? Is it 25% or is it 50? So the scare tactics, the fear mongering is going to start. But the thing with this one, guys, is that I do believe it's going to make people really, really, really sick. I mean, evidently sick. I think we're going to see more people pass away from this. That's without a doubt. But I think it's going to do like a lot of viruses do. It's going to burn through the weak at first. But they're going to use these numbers to scare us, and they're going to do the same thing they did with Mr. 19. They're going to put that little ticker at the bottom. They're going to have the number thing on the side. It's going to tell you every day how many people passed away. And that's how they're going to get people scared, because they found out that that worked. That drove people's anxiety up every day. They turned on the TV because they wanted to see what the numbers were of people who were passing away, and then that got their anxiety up. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, there was a study done on it, or it was recorded somehow, how it got people's anxiety up just looking at the numbers. And when anxiety is in high gear, fear is right behind it. And what do people do? They look for hope. And then the FDA turns around and goes, well, we got 2 arm tickets that we can get in production and have out in the streets in weeks. They're already stockpiling them. I think they have 150 million doses already stockpiled, and they said they can get more within weeks. They're stockpiling for something they don't know about yet, and they don't even know what variant it is yet. But somehow they have them stockpiled, ready to rock and roll. That in itself is very, very alarming. Anyway, guys, they're going to push the fear machine really hard when it comes to this new event. And I'm out here to say, and I will say a million times, over and over again, do not take the next arm ticket that comes out. They're going to push this one. They're going to push it a little harder. People are going to lose their jobs again. I don't think a lot of city agencies are going to push for it, because a lot of guys are like, they're done. And city agencies cannot afford to have cops and firefighters out of work, EMTs and correctional officers and sanitation out of work. A lot of people state they're not going to take it the next round. We shall see. I think differently, because I watched a lot of people turn into cowards. But a lot of guys are saying, because they're watching people get sick from the Mr. 19 arm ticket, and some guys were sick themselves, that there's no way they're taking whatever else comes out. They're going to convince people, guys, that it's old technology, that it's not mRNA, that it's going to save lives. We shall see. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.